update number 1 on the 2021 TM 250 FI. I've seen it referred to as a TSI, so I don't know what's proper, but I know that it says 250 FI, so that's what I'll call it. It's a fuel-injected 250 two-stroke. Some things that I've learned that I hope if anybody is looking for information about their TM fuel-injected two-stroke, you'll get this before you run into the problems that I did. So before I even rode the bike, there wasn't a spark arrestor available for it on the shelf. Pro Circuit is the only aftermarket company that I know of that makes one. We've got it on here now, but I got a Enduro Engineering end cap screen type spark arrestor and put it on there before I even rode the bike. And I didn't even think about it, but on the few rides that I went on, the bike didn't really run right. And it was erratic. It ran good as long as you were riding a gear high, big throttle settings. Didn't run very good right off idle. Didn't run very good wide open. Couldn't really figure it out. We actually went to the TM importer. We went down to Get Dirty Dirt Bikes in Southern California. We had Dave there put some maps in it for us, and it wasn't working right. I thought it was just a mapping issue, but it's not. Dave saw that screen type spark arrestor and he said, get that thing out of there. And lo and behold, we get that thing out of there and it runs perfect. Dave developed a map for the 300 that he put in on map 2. I moved the map switch down here to where the steering lock is. And on my map 2 is my 300 map. And this is an updated 250 map on map 1. But it's easy access. The bars are really cluttered because of this this cluster of stuff for the horn, turn signals, lights. Just don't need it. Eventually I'm just going to replace that with a kill switch and maybe even a horn to honk at people to get out of my way. Probably a headlight switch, because another thing that I've found, occasionally the power valve likes to go through a reset. And if you've stalled your bike on a side hill or you're crossing a log and stalled and you restart your bike, not every time, but sometimes, it doesn't run well. It'll just pop and it's louder and it's resetting that power valve until you get going, 8, 10, 20 seconds. And then it starts running fine again. But there's a fix for that. Right here where the map flash is, this is how you plug into the computer. You can jumper that, or we'll put a switch in and straight to the battery, but we can hot that up for a whole day of riding, and whenever that power valve recalibrates, it just stays on, and then you don't have to worry about it. And at the end of the day, you shut the switch off, it'll be fine. So that's the fix that I know of for all of that. It wasn't a big deal. I actually raced this last weekend at the Lone Wolf ISDE, and you'll notice my crutch. I hurt my left foot. It's all black and blue. Don't stop on rocks at 20 miles an hour plus, because it hurts. Another thing we've done, these SXS hand guards that are hugely thick, ultra high molecular weight UHMW hand guards. Best thing I've ever seen. They're rigid, they're open at the end, you're not going to trap your hand in there. They're very, very rigid. Good stuff. We put this Serapax skid plate on there. It's a skid plate combined with a pipe guard. I was worried about the pipe and being able to get parts for the TM, so I covered that up to try to save it, because I know FI bikes don't run well with a smashed pipe. But turns out my worries were for naught, because pipes are easy to get. I did get a Pro Circuit, but I haven't put the Pro Circuit on. I think this is part of the reason the bike is so loud, because this is so thin. But this is not easy to put on. It also doesn't slide well over rocks and logs. That aluminum grips it rather than just slides over it. I'm used to that plastic skid plate. So we may or may not keep this on there, but it sure does protect the pipe. But yeah, so far, and now that it's running well, gosh, it runs perfectly. And I can really feel how that chassis works. The suspension is phenomenal. It soaks up everything. Could have a little bit better small bump compliance, but I wouldn't want to trade that for what it gets on big bumps. You can hit anything at any speed. In fact, the faster you go, the better it is. It's fantastic. The handling is very predictable. The rider cockpit, the position is so good. It is, it's just like a modern bike should be. It's meant for standing up on, for riding on your toes. It rewards a good attack position riding style. Also rewards being loose on the bike. It's really, really good, and I would recommend it. It's not quite as dialed in off the floor as a KTM is, but it's really good. More updates to come.